Still riding high off that Celtic victory. And riding high today as we welcome him in to Sports Talk, the new athletics director at Coastal Carolina University. And, man, they got some big plans down there, and they got the right man at the right time to step into that spot because he did a great job at South Carolina, and now he's going to take his talents to the coast. At Coastal Carolina, we welcome in for the first time the AD at Coastal Carolina, Chance Miller. And welcome in, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's everybody doing today?
Man, we're doing great. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I always knew we'd have you on this show to interview you about being an athletic director. I just thought you'd still be in the garnet and black and not the teal. So it's funny how these things work out, but congratulations. How do you feel about this new opportunity in your professional life?
I tell you, we're so excited. Lauren and I are actually driving around right now house hunting after the press conference today and the reception that we had with everyone, and trying to find a place to relocate the family, but very excited to be a part of Coastal Carolina Athletics and the university as a whole. After interviewing with President Benson, the Board of Trustees, and all the staff here, just felt really comfortable with them, really liked his strategic plan and the resources that he was going to put behind us in athletics to be able to take us to a new direction.
So as you're riding around looking for real estate, do you want something with a little beach in the backyard or a little more inland?
Well, I asked the kids, I said, if I'm going to move you, what do you want? And, of course, they all said a pool, and then Kaysen said he wanted a putting green, which I don't know if we'll get either one of those. And I told Lauren, I said, if we're going to move to the beach, I really want to see water. I think Lauren's opinion counts more than any of ours, so We're not getting any of those.
You're not getting any of those. Okay. Well, what's her opinion? What does she want to see?
I think she just wants something quickly and be able to relocate and get the kids into school and get ready to go. Yeah, you got to move kind of fast here with summer kind of starting to wear away a little bit. So when did you jump on this situation? Matt Hogue announced that he was retiring from the spot. I guess that was back sometime in May, I think, maybe late April, early May. When did you become heavily involved? It was, honestly, as soon as I saw it posted that Matt was stepping away. Matt was my first phone call. I called Matt. Matt is a friend of mine. We know each other well, and I started talking to him just to see, how was Coastal? How were the people? How was the leadership? How was the community? And this is a job, too. When you work in college athletics, everybody has those jobs that you look at and say, if that ever came open, that'd be a really good one. And Coach Tanner and I had actually talked about this position. So when Matt announced he was stepping away to start the broadcast school here at Coastal Carolina, I called him, and he couldn't say greater things about the community, the individuals, the leadership, and he actually encouraged me. He said, you should apply. And so I started doing my due diligence, really looked into President Benson and his strategic plan, and everything he wants to do are things that I helped do at South Carolina, and really wants to put forward a legacy of great infrastructure and things that we can help grow not only the athletics department but the university and community. And those are things that, I thought I did really well at South Carolina and thought I could come down here and do those well here. And while I'm sad to leave South Carolina and there's a lot of great people there, it was a little bittersweet today. Because, it's a great announcement, and my family's excited, and I looked on the internet and saw South Carolina and Coach Tanner got the RFP approved to send out the RFP on the big development project. Mm-hmm. That's something, I've worked on for a while, so hate seeing that go, but I know it's in good hands with the people there, and we're going to do some great things down here at Coastal. Talking with Chance Miller, the new athletics director at Coastal Carolina University, and you kind of walk into a interesting thing from a coach's standpoint among your top three programs there, football, basketball, baseball. Two of them are brand new, your coaches, and third, your football coach is going into his second year. So you probably don't have to worry about anything like that, but you probably know as well as I do when it comes to an AD, you're doing a lot of fundraising and you're doing a lot of planning and building, et cetera, but the outside world,
they gauge your success or failures by the people you hire to coach those teams, and the success or failures that those teams have. How well prepared do you think you are from your experience when it comes to hiring, or I know you don't want to get to that point at some point in time, but having to fire coaches? How do you think you'll handle that aspect of the job?
I think I'm well equipped to do that. Coach Tanner really was a blessing to me in my career. He brought me alongside of him to really change over the culture at South Carolina, and I think we've changed over when I was there. And right before I left, while I was doing this interview, we were trying to fill 4 coaching vacancies. And he really let me come alongside of him and help hire Shane in football, Lamont in basketball. I hired the swim coach and Jeff Poppel, helped with the track coach and Tony Annan in men's soccer, and just the recent hires that we've made. And so I think I'm well equipped of that, or to be able to handle that. But what's good about Coastal, and one of the things that really attracted me here, is I think they've got really good coaches. And I credit Matt Hogue and President Vincent on that, about bringing good people in that are good culture people. And I can tell you this, I came down this weekend, as soon as it was announced on Thursday, Lauren and I packed up the kids. We came straight down and started meeting with the coaches and the staff, and spent probably the entire weekend with Coach Beck and his football staff in the recruiting weekend. Got to meet a lot of the recruits and see how they do things. I was very impressed with Coach Beck and what he's doing and how he's building it. And then on Sunday, spent time with Coach Gray and the men's basketball staff, who's brand new. So they're all trying to get to know each other, and the donors and the staff as well. And got to hang out with them. And I told everybody, Coach Gray reminds me a lot of Coach Paris. And I'm excited about what they're building there. And then baseball is in good hands. Kevin's been doing this for a while, and he's going to build a great staff and put together a good roster. So excited about what we have down here.
Chance, let me give you a piece of advice. Having driven back and forth to campus since about 2007, I can tell you one thing: you don't want to be too far down 501. So location with regards to your housing purchase.
That's what everybody was just telling me. I was looking a little bit today, and our realtor said, "Hey, you don't want to look in these places. You're going to get stuck on 501. That's not going to be good for you." So we just eliminated a lot of it.
Yeah, it's probably a smart move for sure. You brought up an interesting term during your press conference earlier today. You said you feel like you're an innovator, and you said the one thing they told you when you took over your duties at South Carolina is don't mess with the 2001 football entrance. You messed with the 2001 football entrance to make it better with the pyrotechnics and the light show and the whole 9 yards. When you look at a school like Coastal now, as you take over there, what areas do you feel like you might be able to apply some innovation that they currently don't have?
Oh, I think the game day experience is always going to be something that you look at. I don't care how good it is. It can always be better. We did that at South Carolina. We added the lights, and everybody raved about it the first year. And I told Justin King and Joe Claire and others in the department, hey, that's not good enough. We can't rest. Let's keep adding things. And, talking to Coastal and leadership here and the staff here, I think they're excited about trying to add things on to the game day atmosphere. Really bring in more of the community to come to games. I think we've got to get creative on how we push tickets and be able to get people, not just Coastal fans, but people in that Myrtle Beach, Conway area to come out and see a game, catch a game for us. And then just in revenue production, I look at what they've done, and it has been impressive, and they've had great success, but I think there is a lot of room for growth in revenue. And then I look at the tourism industry around Coastal Carolina, and you can bring in outside events to be able to host on that campus and utilize the facilities to really grow revenue. And that's something we started doing at South Carolina. It took me a little while to do, and I felt like I had to speak it into existence and convince everybody it could be done in Columbia, but we did it. And on August 3rd, I will make a road trip back and see those 2 Premier League teams playing Williams-Brice. So I don't see why it can't be done in a tourism industry like Myrtle Beach and Conway.
Chance Miller with us here tonight on Sports Talk, the brand new athletics director at Coastal Carolina. And Chance, as you come over from Columbia, you leave an SEC program to come to a Sun Belt level school in terms of football at the G5 and then technically a mid-major. I know coaches don't like that term, but just from a fan's perspective, how different, though, from a revenue-producing perspective is it, especially now? This is an entirely different job than when Matt Hogue took over as AD. He didn't have to worry about name, image, and likeness. You certainly will as an athletics director, trying to give your coaches their opportunities there. How big a challenge do you believe that is going to be as you move forward at CCU?
Oh, I think it's going to be a big challenge for everybody in college athletics. I mean, college athletics is drastically changing. It keeps changing, and now with this House settlement that's going through, once it gets approved, we're all going to have to look at what we're doing. And I tell everybody, and I told a lot of the coaches at Coastal, we're just going to have to look at resource allocation. And what are those things that we used to do because everybody said, you got to do them for recruiting, that really don't move the needle anymore, and you got to move those around. But, I hear people all the time say it's a huge problem and it's going to collapse the industry. But I tell you what, when you have a problem and you have shakeup like that, I think there's opportunity. And I think there's opportunity for a place like Coastal with its growing enrollment, the huge tourism industry, and just the amount of support and passion I see from the leadership and the board level there. There's a huge opportunity to really capture that and jump your competitors and really compete at a high level.
Yeah, when all this stuff started happening 3-4 years ago, I'm one of those guys, longtime sports fan, grew up watching college sports a certain way and hated everything. And I still kind of do, but I also have accepted it and realized that forces beyond our control are pushing all this, and you can't stop it. It is what it is, and it's going to be, and it's going to settle down one day. One day it'll settle down in a form or fashion. And my question to you is, Chance, is when everything is finally settled down and we have some sort of structure in place for the future of college athletics, where does a school like Coastal Carolina kind of fall in to the big picture, do you think? Or where do you think in the future, with you as AD 10, 15 years down the road, if not longer, where do you see Coastal Carolina kind of falling in place in the big picture of college athletics nationally?
Yeah. I wish I could tell you and predict the future of where everybody's going to fall out in college athletics. I think if I tried to tell you that, I'd be lying. But what I can tell you is the reason I went to Coastal Carolina is I looked at all the positives they had. They had a great foundation. They had past success. I mean, you've got a football team that's been going to bowl games. You've got a baseball team that won a national championship and did it at the highest level. And you look at the growing enrollment that they have. Yeah, you've got 50, and I wish I had this number right in front of my face, but I think it's around 53 to 55% out-of-state enrollment that are coming in here. And you've got that tourism industry, and you've got the president that is going to allow me to really build some facilities and be able to attract outside events that bring revenue in. And I think it positions a place like Coastal really well when things start to shake out. And when you have movement, which I'm sure is going to happen again in the conference level, I want to be able to position Coastal Carolina as that top tier of that group of five that people talk about, to where people are looking at it saying, we want them. We want them because they've done it, and they've done it at a high level, and they've done it better than everybody else.
I mean, like if things really get shaken up and the ACC loses members to other schools, or who knows what conferences are going to look like, or even if we're going to have conferences per se in the next 5 or 10 years. But I mean, if the ACC is still around, there's openings, and Coastal continues to grow. Could you see Coastal Carolina one day finding a home in a place like the ACC?
Oh, I could, and that's why we've got to be able to be innovative and position ourselves to be at that highest level to where people want us. And I can tell you right now, just talking into some of the staff about future scheduling, a lot of those schools don't want to schedule us, whether it be in football or baseball, and there's a reason because of that. We're competitive, and they know they don't want to schedule us. So. But some of the favors I'm going to call in and the relationships I have, they're going to schedule us because they're going to have to.
Well, can we get the Gamecocks and the Shots playing in baseball?
Well, I was talking to Coach Tanner about that the other day, so we'll see. We'll see.
I think it'd be a great draw. I tell you, you could pack those places. A weekend series would be fantastic if y'all could make that happen, before you get into your conference slate. So, well, we thank you. Congratulations. Knew something big was going to be happening for you one day somewhere, and glad you're still in the state and glad that you can be a part of Sports Talk on a regular basis. And all the best to you and the family.
Thanks, Chance.
Well, thank you very much. And like I said in my press conference, I love this state, and I've been blessed to be able to stay within it and still stay in contact with you. So anytime you guys want me on, let me know.
You got it. Thank you. Oh, yes, sir. Thank you very much, and we'll see you down there.
Take care, guys.
Take care. You too.
Sean.
All right. Chance Miller, new AD at Coastal. Going to do a great job, no question about it. Ray Tanner.
He's impressive.
Yeah. Ray Tanner spoke very highly of him all the time. All the guys over there did, and he's going to do a great job at Coastal. And, gosh, one thing I meant to ask him was designing that convocation center from a basketball standpoint, but they probably haven't gotten that far down the road with it yet.
I don't think so.
Since they just announced it today. All right, we'll be right back.